So I'm speaking with David Thion for Les Films Pélias. So I was mentioning this just before you sat down. You are actually 1 month away from an important milestone as a producer. It's your silver anniversary, 25 years in the business. Your first film was with none other than Emmanuel Moret. You've worked several times with the likes of Mia Hansen-Løve, Serge Bonzon, Christophe Honoré, and Justin Triet. I wanted to do a mini gloss over, looking backwards and forwards in your filmography. We're in Marrakech right now. I watched Karim Massoui's The Vanishing last night. I was at the premiere. I think this is an example of you as a producer. A great producer is gonna see something in a short film or a medium length film. You're gonna see talent, and then what you do is, in this case with Karim, is that you worked not only on one film with him, but a second film with him. But in between films, there's a support mechanism, there's a creative sort of outlet, and I find that really fascinating. Is like these relationships that you create with filmmakers, it's not by accident that they come and they want to work with you again. So I want you, using this film, The Vanishing, as an example, talk to me about how that looks like.
The first time I met Karim, it was in Angers, during the film festival, Premier Plan, and he had done a very beautiful medium-length film, Les Jours d'Avant. I don't remember the English title of the film, but
The Days Before, maybe something like that.
Something like that.
But it's a 40-minute medium short.
40 or 45 minutes, and I was, struck and amazed by the film, by the talent of the directors. So we talked, and I asked him if he had an idea for the first feature film, if he had a producer, and then we started to discuss, because he had produced himself the medium length film.
Yeah.
So he had no producer attached to to follow up the new project. So that's how the collaboration started, and it was something special because Karim lives in Alger, so he doesn't live in Paris or in France. So it's we talk on the phone, and from time to time he comes to Paris. Sometimes I go to Alger, but it's something very special because most of the time I work with French.
They're a taxi ride away from where you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how the story between us started.
Yes.
At this festival, and we've done the Latin dans les Hirondelles, and it was I was really happy with the collaboration, even though it was quite tough to shoot in Algeria.
Yeah.
For many reasons. But the end of the story was really, really happy. It was a beautiful one. We went to Cannes, Un Certain Regard with the film. So it was, it was really great for a first feature film. And the release in France was good, not super good, but good for this type of film, because the film is divided into 3 parts. It's like 3 short films, put together. And there is no apparent link between the 3 different parts. So
omnibus a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's a very, very special, film in terms of structure.
Yeah.
So it, I was really, enjoying the collaboration. We decided to make a new film together, but it was in 1999. So Karim told me I would like to adapt a book. It's a book by Samir Toumi. Samir Toumi is an Algerian author, published by a very good publishing company based in Alger.
Yeah.
Barzac Edition. They're really good. They have a very good taste. And Samir Toumi is a famous Algerian novelist. Novelist is it?
Yeah. That's correct, sir.
And he had done before, he had written before a very successful book, but this one it was less known, less famous.
Okay.
So I read the story and I said, okay, it seems really interesting. It was totally different from En attendant les hirondelles.
Yeah.
So and we started to work, and at the very beginning it was really close to the story of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And day after day, he started to take a bit of distance, between the screenplay and the original story.
Yeah.
The difficult thing was that we had the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it was tough in France, but it was even tougher in Algeria.
Yeah.
Especially in Alger, because there was no vaccination available, and so they decided to
just close everything down, probably.
To have very strict lockdown.
Yeah.
And many lockdowns.
Yeah.
Successive lockdowns. So it was quite tough, and Karim was a bit depressed, and we talked, on the phone,
Skype and all that stuff. Yeah.
Zoom.
Yeah.
And so this is how we developed this new project, and we decided to work with a screenwriter. It was the same person as for En attendant les hirondelles.
Yes.
French screenwriter, and it took us a long time because of the context of the pandemic, and it was quite a difficult adaptation because he really decided to take a more creative distance.
Yes. I can imagine, because there's some, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but there are some very, very raw and demanding sequences. I mean, there's things that happen within a fraction of a second. I'm like, oh my God, we're going there. But there's also fantasy elements that sort of bookend the film, and I'm thinking that possibly was really not in the original book. So I could get a sense of visually and also structurally how you might have changed the cosmetics of the original source. So that says a lot as well. I mean, this is a second feature film, I believe, for Karim.
Yes.
So there's a lot at stake for him. The second feature film, as we both know, is crucial. It's critical.
Yeah.
It's a big deal to go to Cannes, and then after that, you're adapting something that's really uneasy. There's a lot of malaise with this film.
Yes.
So I think that says a lot about you protecting and defending creative choices and original voices. So I attended the master class between Marie-Ange and Justine 2 days ago.
Yes.
And she mentioned something about Anatomy of a Fall that for Marie-Ange and for Justine, they both recognized that they were working on something special, not necessarily at the screenplay stage, but on set while filming. I thought that was really, really fascinating, because for me, on paper, I was like, when I saw this in Cannes the first time, I'm like, how is this working? The screenplay is so dense, and it falls into so many different perimeters and whatnot. And I was struck by that because when you get behind a horse at a horse race, usually you know that it's going to be a winner from the onset. But in both of their cases, I get a sense that they felt that they were on something special during the filming. When you're working with a producer who has a different Swiss Army knife tools for production, how does it work for two producers that are very much in their own lane? How do you support one another in order to help a person like Justine? And I know you probably did it with Sibyl. How does that look like when two producing minds from different entities come together? And also, in your case, did you also get a sense that, like Marie-Ange, that, oh shit, it's during the production where you said, oh, we have something here? Yeah. Was that the case for you?
Yes, I think so. When the script was ready, it was indeed a very dense screenplay, but what struck us was that the script appealed to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not that often when you as a producer, when you give the script and you have very positive feedbacks. The only mixed feedbacks we had was maybe it's a bit too long, maybe it's a bit too dense, too much dialogues, things like that, but not, nothing about the
core of it,
core of the story.
Yeah.
Nothing against the characters, or So when we were financing the film, we knew that it was potentially a very strong film, and we knew that we had a very strong story in our hands. So when we were on set, we had very very positive, very good
intuitions,
especially because of the main actress, Sandra Hüller.
Yes.
She was, really wonderful. Every
take.
Every take was, we're behind the.
Behind the mini screen. Yeah.
So it was, really intense. Really intense. And very different from one take to another. So, and all the, the actor, the actress around her, they were, really, really great. So, and the boy, Milo, was also super good. So we had a very good feeling. On set. And then Justine went in the editing room, and like 2 or 3 months after, we had the
working
cut, but a very advanced. First draft of the editing, the image editing, and the film was like 3 hours and 10 minutes long, but it was there. So we knew that we had a very good film. And it took us quite a long time to reduce it, to come to the 2 hour and 35 minutes final version. But we were really confident in the film, in the power of the film. And at a certain time, we decided to show the film to the financial partners, to the people that support us to finance the movie, and all the feedbacks were really, really enthusiastic. So the feedback from the French distributor, the feedback from MK2, sales agent, feedbacks from the broadcasters, France 2, Canal Plus. Everything was.
That must be such a. It must be such a crazy experience when when you're putting on that first screening.
Exactly.
Even making sure that the coffee is just the right temperature before they go into the private screening.
So it was really, really, really enthusiastic. A lot of enthusiasm, around the film. And so our goal was Cannes, of course. So we showed the film to the selection committee, to Thierry Frémaux, the selection committee, to Christian Jeune, and we had very positive feedbacks. But we, for a French film, you have to wait until the
last minute. They pick 5 or 6. It's like
for the French film, you have the final decision the day before. But very late.
Sometimes
the phone rings at 10 p.m. Sometimes 11 p.m. Sometimes at midnight, and you don't know. You don't know. You are confident. You think you have good chances, but you never know. So. And except if it's a no, and if they call you, in the morning at 10 a.m., it's a no. But you have to wait quite a long time. So it's so we were really happy, of course, being in competition again for Anatomy of a Fall, and it's when the film was first screened. In Cannes for the distributors, for the press, it was like how do you say that? It's industry screening. The industry screening went very well.
I was there.
There was a buzz, a lot of buzz. So so MK2 told us that it was going very well, and we had decided to show the film the Sunday. We asked Thierry Frémaux if it was okay to have the Sunday during the afternoon.
Yes,
mid-afternoon,
yes.
At 4 p.m. because the film was quite long. So and we asked for a single screening, not two screenings, on Sunday. So the first Sunday. So at the middle of the festival.
Yeah.
At 4. Because it was the same date and hour for Tony Erdmann.
Yes,
and
yes.
It went very well for Tony Erdmann. So we had the intuition that it could be a good slot,
Yes. So I wanted to go back actually. So I'm trying to see it from a very naive perspective. Is when you're on set and you are collaborating with another producer who has their own ways, their own mechanisms, their own tool set. For Justine, how is it to have David and Marie-Ange working in collaboration?
Yes.
Because you might have different approaches or different strengths. So I wanted to get a sense of what does a balance like that look like? And I believe you had worked together on Sibyl.
Yeah, but on Sibyl, Marie-Ange was the minority co-producer.
Okay.
But she's a very close friend to Justine.
Yes.
So they knew each other for many years, and they are very, very close.
No, you get a sense of that. Yes, yes.
So Justine, did this team. She said we could collaborate on that project because it was a totally different project from Sibyl, and so that's and I knew Marie-Ange very well, and so I knew and Marie-Ange did too that we could. Do a good team and we could join our respective forces and strengths to make this film, and it was really good that we were two because Justine is really an intense director when she is doing a film in terms of preparation, shooting, editing. The editing it lasts like 1 year.
Yeah.
So we've seen the film so many times, probably 15 times. The different versions. So it was really important to be two. Because it was, a very long run.
Yes.
And the preparation is she includes us at every step of the process.
Yes.
Of this film. So the casting, for instance, it was a very long process, and it was also good that we were two because the campaign, the awards race was so intense.
And that was something I want to. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
I think just looking at your 25 years, it's one thing to be behind marketing materials and pushing a film during film festivals and maybe Les Césars and critic groups and stuff like this. But Anatomy of a Fall was. Like you said, this is intense. This is like every post decision you're making after the Cannes premiere is it's make or break. Yes. You had a great partner. I think it was Neon that was on this one. But I remember seeing things on Instagram. I'm like, oh, I love what they're doing here with the marketing materials and pushing it. I remember when France selected Pot au Feu, and fractions of a seconds later, you guys were on it to say, hey, we're available in these categories. And I called it. When I was in Cannes, I said, this is the best screenplay. I saw it. I saw it at Cannes. So yeah, that's even crazier as a producer to be overseeing a film well past its introduction to the film world?
So after the Cannes screening, so we knew that it was a blast in terms of sales.
Yeah.
And also in terms of film festivals, because you know, during Cannes you can book the film for the fall season of you know, film festivals. And so we had a good overview of what's gonna happen in the fall for the film, and of course we dreamed of you know, the possibility to be selected by the French committee, the French Oscar committee. So we went to Telluride, and it was really great because we have 4 or 5 screenings, and they had an additional screening because it was one of the favorite films among the, you know, the
patrons of the festival.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And after Telluride, we went to Toronto,
Yeah.
to the Toronto Film Festival, and right after New York, the New York Film Festival. But in between Toronto and New York, the decision was made not to choose Anatomy of the Fall. So we were really disappointed, and we didn't understand what's happening. But the good thing is the very strong reaction from Neon.
Yeah.
They said, okay, it's not a big deal. The film is really, really good, and we at Neon think that we have very good chances to go, you know, far.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so they decided to push the film in every other you know, categories.
Yes.
Main actress, main film, main director, main screenplay, original screenplay. So, and we were very, you know, in France it was a catastrophe. You said, we don't understand why. Haven't choose.
Chosen, picked.
Us, so the very first feeling was, you know, we were really angry and pissed off, and really disappointed. But the reaction of Neon, we said, wow, it's amazing. They still believe in the film. So, and that's how things started, and we decided to campaign and to follow, you know, Neon's energy and believe in the film.
Yeah, I'll interrupt you, but I remember seeing on the socials, they were out of the gates. Once the nominations are made, they start blasting their campaign. Their plan B was perhaps their plan A.
Yes.
And so they were ready for this moment. But I just, it's a remarkable journey just from the marketing standpoint, but also from the awards thing. It just...
no, they are really good in terms of marketing, and because we were, you know, we had absolutely no ideas of what was a campaign for the Golden Globe, for the Oscar. So everything was brand new, and it was really fresh, you know, for us.
So from a personal standpoint, tell me about, I have 2 questions. Tell me about when a director brings you a project and you've worked with that director before and you decide to pass on the project. And then on the flip side, when you help elevate a director, you help them from the onset, you're there at the very onset of their career, and then they decide to go with another producer when you very much want to work on the project that they're working on. So I was thinking about it in terms of like breakups in relationships, but it's also a business. I mean, there's nothing personal about that. So how does that look like?
For the first question, most of the time, I try to follow a director according to his desire. So even if I not strongly connected with the new ID project, I try to follow him or her because it's because I want to work with this person and because I have admiration and I am convinced that he or she is a good director, and so I have to you know, to to work with her, with him, and try to make the longest path as possible together. So when a cooperation, when a collaboration is interrupted, it's not for I would say screenplay reason. It's for other reasons. Sometimes we have the feeling that we are not
in sync.
And cooperating very well. Sometimes the person has an offer from another producer.
Of course.
That proposed to adapt a book or something, different material. So most of the time, this is the type of situation.
Okay.
When a collaboration is interrupted. You talked about Mia. So I've been producing the very first feature films by Mia. All is Forgiven, The Father of My Children, Un amour de jeunesse. It's
Un amour de jeunesse. I don't remember how to translate that one.
Yes, it's.
But her first three.
Goodbye First Love.
Yes,
Goodbye
yes.
First Love, the third three. Then Mia told me that she wanted to do two films. It was one film but divided into two parts, so that was making two films, and it was Eden.
Yeah.
And I started to work, on this idea. We developed the project. It was two screenplays, so it was like doing a film of 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And but the market was not ready anymore to support this type of project. So and she was probably not ready at that time to do one film. So she decided to go and see another producer.
Yeah.
So she went to see another producer, and the new producer didn't manage to produce the two films. So he said, you have to do one film instead of two films, so she had a breakup with the new producer, and then she found a third producer.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, she was ready to make one film. So this is why I didn't produce Eden, but I kept on having a very strong relationship with Mia, because we really started together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This was All Is Forgiven. It was my first film as a producer, and it was a first film. So, and I have a very strong relationship, and we are really friends.
And father of my children. Father of my children. I was at the world premiere. It's a really deeply personal film.
Exactly.
So anybody who's brought on as a collaborator, as a supporter, you don't forget that relationship.
No. And it was this one was really tough to be made, because it's really inspired by the memory of Humbert Balzan.
Mm-hmm.
And for Humbert Balzan was much love in the
community.
Yeah, the community of producers, distributor, all the industry. His death was a shock for everyone. It was really tragical. So when we bring this project on the table, sometimes we had very tough, response. You are not allowed to do a film, inspired by Humbert Balzan, because you, Mia, didn't know him very well.
Yeah, who are you? Yeah.
It was to produce your first film, but you met him like 5-6 times, and that's it. So
yeah.
What do you know about who was Humbert Balzan really? So it was really difficult to make this film, and we had a couple of people that were really supportive, but a lot of people that were not helping us a lot, or that. I mean, they were not mal à l'aise.
Yeah.
They were were not.
They weren't receptive to.
Not receptive to the idea.
Yeah.
You know, of someone so young.
Yeah.
Doing a film on, you know, this producer. So yeah. So I think this experience, you know.
Of really going to war together. I don't want to employ the word war in the most bizarre way, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's no accident that you're working with her again on her next project. So it's nice to see things go full circle, even though there's interruptions, quote unquote.
And Mia, Ants and Love, so she did 2 films with Charles Lilibert, and L'Avenir, Things to Come, and after she decided to come back, and so we did Maya.
Yeah, went to India.
After that, she did the Bergman Island.
Yeah.
And One Fine Morning with us.
Directors for a Night.
Yeah, and the new one with us together. It's an English language film. So
we're talking about Anatomy of a Fall, where it just feels as if it was a great film even before it started. But was there ever a moment in your filmography, and maybe if you can pick out a film, that'd be really amazing, where everything on paper looked amazing,
yes,
and then you bring it to market and somehow either the critical reception wasn't there or the public reception wasn't there? Is there like a film in your filmography where you're just surprised, where you're like, oh, I thought this would work out? And then on the flip side, is there a film that you felt not as confident about, but then went to market, and then it just like blew everybody's expectations, including your own aside? Is there some examples of either one?
I don't really have this type of experience.
That's not because you're removed from the projects.
No,
they're all your babies.
I have sometimes the script is not so strong or not so good, and we know that, but I'm really satisfied with the final result. Mm-hmm. You know, but I've never been disappointed between the expectations that I had, with the script and the final result. It's probably the other way around.
Okay.
Or it's the same. I had some expectations with the script and the film. It's always a surprise to see the film, because it's not the screenplay made with the images and sound. It's something different because you work with actors, and it changed the thing, and it changed the material, and also the editing changed the material. Sometimes it changed the structure of the film, how it is built. So the film is a total different thing from the screenplay. But most of the time, I'm not disappointed, by the film. Sometimes I'm disappointed by the response of the audience, of the market. Very often,
because you can't bring every film to the Cannes Film Festival. In your dreams, that would happen, right?
No, but the Cannes is the dream of every French filmmaker, because it's the strongest film festival, the strongest market. So we all want to be in Cannes, but there are also other good opportunities. Venice can be very good for film, Berlinale also. So there are you have Toronto, you have San Sebastian. So you have other options, and it's really interesting, because I produced the first feature film by Arthur Harari, whom I love a lot as a filmmaker and as a person, and we were really disappointed by the response of the film festival. So the film was ready for Cannes, and Cannes passed on the film. Then we tried Locarno, past, Travelling is the past, Toronto, Berlinale, and at the very end of
the cycle. It's a one-year cycle. You can't resubmit to the same festival twice.
We of course.
Yeah.
So we had no other alternative as to accept a French film festival.
Yeah.
It was Premier Plan, Angers, which is a really good festival, but it's a very national film festival. It's not an international film festival. And we went there with the film, and it was okay, but the film was not awarded with a prize. So we were a bit disappointed, and I didn't understand why things were like that, because I really found the film very interesting as a first feature film, and I really liked the film, and so it was quite tough. And when the film was released in France, the press was amazing. So we had very, very good reviews, and at that point, it was really strange, because the film started a new, career,
life, a new life.
Yeah. And it was really, really strange, because 1 year later we had.
It's 1 year of rejection.
Yes.
To be then
exactly
acclaimed and loved.
Yeah, and this is an example of a film that was not selected for the major international film festival, but when the film was released in France, it became acclaimed.
Yes.
By
all the big
big papers.
Yes.
The weekly magazine, the monthly magazine, and it was appreciated by the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we had to be strong enough to support this 1 year without a positive answer coming from the film festival, and it was quite tough. So sometimes you have to wait until the moment that the film is shown to a large audience, and
to validate what you knew at the very because Arthur is an amazing screenwriter and director. He opened a certain regard, I think, with his sophomore sophomore feature. It's a miraculous film. Yes. Oh, I just interviewed Guillaume Sinez in Montreal for Cinémania. It's a film that went to Toronto. So my question to you is, what are the tricky parts as a French entity, a French producer, working in a different continent, in a different country? I mean, your skill set, you've been doing this for 2 decades plus, but then when you're introduced to a whole new zone, forget about language, but ways of producing, what does that do for you? Does it just add more energy to does it remind you why you got into this business?
I liked it a lot, the experience of shooting in Japan. It was quite tough during the preparation of the film, because we had to co-produce with a Japanese co-producer, but it was quite a bad experience, because it dropped us at the very at a very advanced stage of the financing.
Yeah.
So we were left without without Japanese co-producer, and it was 6 months, 6-7 months before the expected shooting. So it was quite tough. So we had to find a new one, but it was too late to apply to the only possibility of finding financing in Japan.
Okay.
So it was really difficult, and especially because when it comes to working with a Japanese co-producer, it takes quite a long time to
synchronize
things because you have to talk a lot. You see, many times just to establish a link. Of mutual confidence. And Japan is a country in which you have to take time, to establish a relationship. So it's not very quick, when you want to work with a Canadian, French-speaking Canadian producer or a German co-producer or a Belgian co-producer. It can be very fast. You talk a couple of times and that's it, and you decide to work together. And but with the Japanese people and producer, it's a very long process. It's exactly the same with distribution. In Japan, when you sell a film to a Japanese distributor, most of the time it takes quite a long time.
There's a stereotype where coworkers then go out to drink together, right? Yeah. But that is perhaps the most important aspect of doing collaborations or working together within a company. So I imagine it applies to this.
Exactly. So it was. So we had this bad first experience with our first Japanese co-producer, but we find someone else, and it was great. And it was also quite tough to prepare the film because Guillaume Sénez was shooting a miniseries. By Pierre Scholler, so they
overlapped a little bit.
Yes, and it was not available before August the 10th, and the shooting started in November. So we had such a
small window,
to prepare the film, to do the location scouting, everything, and it was so hot in Tokyo. Like 40 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
So it was really intense and tough. So the preparation was quite a nightmare, but we succeeded in finding all the location, all the actor, the actress to be part of the film. So and the shooting was a dream.
Yeah.
So before principal photography, it was. A tough experience, but when the shooting started, everything was really cool.
One of the things I told Guillaume was that I loved the approach. Is like it was not a tourist look at Tokyo. It was very much like it felt as if the film was. The film and how le cadrage or the framing of it, it felt like, oh, this is when Romain is drinking a juice box from the machine, that's his interpretation. That's how he is Japanese. Anyway, and all the car shots and all that stuff. I remember thinking, oh, this is what I want to see. Yeah. I want to see what it looks like to be part of the fabric. And I tried tracking all of your work, and I think you're working, I think is the director of Olga. Yeah. The Grapp is
Elie Grapp.
Yes.
It's my partner, Philippe Martin.
Okay. So that's part of the same production company. And Philippe, Mr. Martin is the one who created.
Exactly.
And you joined
the company in 1990.
Okay.
And I met him in 1997.
Okay.
And we started to
collaborate
together
in
1999.
Okay. Wow. So it really is. It's crazy. 25 years in the business. Is there projects that have been announced in the trades besides Mia?
The new film by Emily Atef.
Oh yes.
German director.
Mercy.
Yeah, Mercy.
Yeah.
Now we changed the title, but it's a provisional title, and it's a film that will be shot in Nairobi, in Kenya.
Oh wow.
And we start to shoot in January. So
just received some. I think Yuri Image just awarded it some money, a lot of euros, which is really helpful.
So and after that, in March, I started the new film, the second feature film by Charline Bourgeois-Taquet.
Yes.
She did Les Amours d'Anaïs, Anaïs in Love, and It's a new film with Léa Drucker and Golshifteh Farahani.
Who I want to say, Léa Drucker, at this moment in their career, she's picking the best role. I want to say since Close, with the Belgian filmmaker. Now, j'oublie son nom. What's his name? Close.
Close. Lucas Dont.
Since her small supporting role, I love her choices right now.
She's an amazing actress.
But she's at that point, like I think it was the Corsini film.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just like picking some really great roles right now. So I'm really happy to hear that you get to work with her again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you so much for your time. I'm like I said, I'm a fucking geek for this stuff, and like for me, it's a DVD extra. So happy extra 25 years to a very strong career, and looking forward to seeing your future output. And good luck with Mia's new film. It's going to be a big deal.
We need it.
Cool.
It's a very high budget film. So.
Yes, with Match Factory they're behind it. So
exactly.
Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.